Hello, it's your girl Chisache. I'm from the Bay Area in my 20s, navigating life as an actor. What the heck? And this is my story time on actually how I became an actor. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a get ready with me. I'm going to show you my skincare and makeup while I tell you how I became a working, paid, professional actor without a BFA. Yup, it's possible. I'm proof. I'm living proof. If you're new here, hey, I'm Chisache. I am a self-care lover, foodie, baddie, gal, love traveling, and I am an actor currently employed by the Book of Mormon National Tour. I am part of the ensemble, and this is how I got to that job. Let's dive into the story time. If you resonate with this, if you have questions, like, comment, share, subscribe, join me on my little passion project here in this little corner of the internet, building community and living your best life, however that looks for you. And I hope this just inspires you and encourages you that you can do it. I'm trying to figure out if this is gonna be a thumbnail. We're starting off with the Mario Badescu. Let's just get some facts straight, okay, before we really get into it. I come from a single parent immigrant home, meaning I am a first generation. I am the eldest daughter and the eldest. I am a Capricorn. My mother is also a Capricorn. Going in with the Tier Milky Toner. Keeps the skin hydrated. I'm the first in my family to go through the American education system all the way until getting a bachelor's, because that's the highest I've gotten so far. And where I am today, after all of this, after we get through everything, it is first and foremost because of God. God gave me my confidence. God gave me the push. God gave me the faith. God gave me the friends. God gave me the opportunities. I did not do any of this alone in hindsight. Physically, yes, but like spiritually, emotionally, mentally, no, it's a good. I wasn't encouraged to really follow my dreams unless they were like practical, you know, unless you're like a doctor, a lawyer, any of that. But I knew deep down that I always wanted to do theater. I always wanted to do performance in some kind of way. And growing up, I always did something to that capacity. But when it came to applying for colleges, girl, I was so shy when I had to say anything about my dreams. When people were asking me growing up, like, oh, like aunties and uncles, what do you want to be when you grow up, Chisache? I would lie, and that's why I kind of knew I was a good actor. I was like, I'm really telling these people that I want to become a lawyer. That really actually was more like in the medical field because my mom's a nurse. All the immigrants are nurses or doctors or educators of some kind. Like they're all in the medical field somehow. When I got into college, that's how I was accepted through biology. I was going to do neuroscience, neurology specifically. I was going to go, but I knew that wasn't my life. And God knew too. Like, fast forward to college, shout out to UCSV. I majored in global studies with a double emphasis in Europe and international relations. We're gonna go in with mix soon. Honey, get this stuff. Let me just show you. Yeah, sun come through. Let me show you what the hydration, bruh. Cause already, bro, you already see the glow. Don't judge me. Going in with the Laneige Sleeping Lip Mask. I think this is what it's called. This is the OG one. And this is the reason I don't have to be applying chapstick 5 million times a day. Here's where the plot twist comes in. During my sophomore year, I studied abroad in London for a semester. This is the fall. And in that same semester, I accidentally, I accidentally auditioned for The Lion King on the West End, and I got really far. Like, I was killing it. I was there like, yeah, what did I say? Because I was so inspired by Cynthia Erivo and The Color Purple, and specifically the 2016 Tony Award performance. If you know, you know. I was out there singing, hey, and bro. Like, I got all the way up to the callbacks for the Shenzi cover specifically, but unfortunately they're like, girl, you don't got no experience. And I was like, I know, like, they're like, you haven't even been trained, which later I came to find out West End, if you don't have a degree in this stuff, if you're not properly trained, bye. You can't just walk on, because I feel like in Broadway in America, if you're good for the part, you're good for the part. On the West End, it's like, no, what's your training? What's your background? I'm like, oh, right. They said, go get trained and come back and we'll see. I'm like, oh, okay, say less. I came back to the States, and no, this is 2018. So now January 2019, I auditioned for a New York conservatory in LA. They're hosting auditions in LA, and I went there, auditioned. Oh, what the heck? I just opened up this thing and it spilled, bro. Applying some sunscreen. I went and auditioned and I got in. I got in on the spot with a freaking huge scholarship. I was like, oh, period. This is how I knew I was supposed to be famous. I was so excited. Found that audition through Instagram, I think, at the time. And then pandemic. I also had to defer a year anyways from that school because this is my sophomore year in college. I had to bypass it with my mom. And we already know my mom's a Capricorn. So I got into the Institute for American Musical Theater, and it's a 2-year conservatory in New York City. And I went there from 2020 to 2022. I continued training under them for a few more months after I graduated as well. I feel like I have to always come back into the light to kind of like just like, you see, I only used 4 products. I didn't need too much. When I found out I got into the school, I knew I had to figure out how to convince my mom to let me go. I had to make a deal because I was so ready to drop out. I was like, say less, like, I'm coming, I'm gonna drop out. But let's remember, timing is key, okay? God's timing is key. Whatever you believe in, God, Allah, the universe, whatever you believe in, you have to trust. But in the moment, I was like, nah, I'm going, I'm dipping. So I talked to my mom. My mom was like, no, absolutely not. I said, Mom, what if I defer at IMT, but if I'm able to finish school in 1 more year, so instead of 4 years, 3 years, if I'm able to do that, will you let me go for my senior year of college technically? And will you pay for it? Because it's my senior year of college and I got the scholarship. So it's basically, it's cheaper for me to go to New York than stay here at UCSB. And she's like, if you're able to graduate early, okay, you can go. Honey, I'm a Capricorn. Say less. I did. I hustled. Luckily, I was in a position where I did not have that much left to finish anyways. My senior year would have just been for the gag. It would have just been for the plot, you know? But COVID happened. And in my mind, I was like, I'm still gonna go train in New York. Like, I don't know how, but I'm gonna go train. And we did. I was actually so in shock. I was like, wow, God, you really did that. Like, I didn't think we were going to be training, but here we are. Okay, so now going in with e.l.f. with the Power Grip Primer. If you've seen my last vlog, it's like there's like 3 get ready with me moments in there, and I kind of use the same stuff anyways. And the makeup is going to be the exact same. Don't quote me on nothing. Just be inspired. That first year of training, mind you, I'm like 21, so I'm definitely one of the older people, and I thought I was old. Like, a lot of people were fresh out of high school, or like they took a gap year, and it was just me and like maybe a few others that were like in the 21 plus club, I would say. It definitely brought insecurities. It definitely brought imposter syndrome. And there's only so few people of color, and there's only so few Black people. Best believe it was hard. I was still living my best life, but it was hard. And I knew like it was not gonna be the easiest thing in the world. First year, it was fundamentals. Fundamentals in ballet, theater, jazz, tap, singing, classical, theater, rock. Like, we were learning everything. You're not allowed to audition your first year. I said, no problem. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the first time I'm actually getting professional training in my dream. So I was like, that's fine. After that first year, I booked my first reading, and it was actually for Super U. For those of you, if you know, you know. And I was an understudy for Ima. I will insert a clip of part of the audition because it made it onto the Instagram. Don't play.
You laugh on a face or crazy, then you say I'm amazing. There's no dollar in the shame when you shout out my name and say I'm amazing.
the Make Conceal Don't Feel. See, I see the girlies put it under their eyes. Is that because there's discoloration going on? I honestly do this because I don't want to put on my foundation, and I only put on foundation because I think it makes the blush stick on longer. So again, don't quote me on nothing. Just be inspired. I stay always using you guys as the reflection. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? Also, happy Lunar New Year to all who celebrate. That whole year specifically, so this is my second year at IMT. We're now in fall of 2021 into the winter and spring of 2022. I ended up getting besides 1 or 2 readings or staged workshops, I got the rest. Whatever show we put on, your girl was in there. When you're just good, you're good. And that's not in a narcissistic way. It is tooting my own horn, but it's not to be mean or disrespectful. It's just being like, that's fact. That is fact. Creative team of Urinetown, they have a new show that they're making, and I was part of that process. I was part of the ensemble, and I ended up, when they brought it back again, I ended up being an understudy, and it's just been craziness. I'm proud of her. I'm going in with Exa Beauty in Daquan 150. It's a satin finish. I'm not that mindful when it comes to the differences with the foundations. I'm usually a matte finish person, but again, I love this. It's very hydrating, so I would not, if I were to redo this ever, I would not do a super dewy skincare prep because this alone is dewy enough. And unless you just put the powders and stuff, but again, I don't know how makeup all works like that, so I'm just kind of vibing. See how it looks like my skin? You see how it looks like my skin though? Like, I know you see it, bruh. To kind of recap where we have been so far, takeaway number 1, no matter who you are, what you believe in, God, the universe, yourself, Allah, and whatever you believe in, you have to have faith, unwavering faith in yourself, in the process. Everything's gonna work out the way it needs to work out. And in the moments, it's hard. Like, I had weak moments. Trust. But all in all, everything works out the way it needs to work out for your own benefit and also for the greater good of the world. Maybe it's not your time to shine yet. Maybe it's somebody else's time to shine. Like, you have to be okay with sometimes what you're given, and just know that you have everything in your tool belt at all times in the seasons that you're in, if you know what I mean. And once that happens, you'll literally feel the world working for you. When you're so focused on, oh, this is not going my way, you're obviously gonna see how the world is working against you. And the world will work against you because that's all you're seeing. But if you're just like, we vibing, okay? You're stressed, but we're vibing. Then you kind of see like, wait, things are working out the way. Takeaway number 2, timing is everything. I believe my whole come up so far has been the timing was just perfect. I happened to be the right person they're looking for at the right time. I happened to have the talent that they needed for the right thing, for the right role. Because that second year, when I tell you, yes, people have things to say. People had things to say, and we have to remind ourselves, like, the climate that we were in at that time. It's the pandemic. All these social justice movements were happening, specifically BLM. Now we're casting directors or creative teams. Like, were they unlearning their biases? Did they have guilt or subconscious guilt? Yes. I had people saying, oh, Chisache got it because she's Black. Yes, but my talent also carries itself. So did people feel bad? Yes. Did I get a lot of these opportunities because I'm Black? Probably. And honey, I'm not gonna hide my skin color, nor do I want to. So yes, if you're gonna hire me just because I'm Black, at this point, go ahead. That's fine, because I know I'm talented. I know I'm gonna deliver what needs to be delivered for the role. That's not a problem. So if you're mad, stay mad, because at the end of the day, I'm here living in my prayers. I'm here living in my truth, living in my authenticity, living in my talent, and you're just on the sidelines mad because you're jealous. Sorry, like, I did not have time or the emotional capacity to really care. I only really cared when it came to like my friends of color or just any person of color, where I was just like, dang, they're so good, but the opportunity was literally snagged. For what? For why? Or when you can clearly see like, oh, they wrote this with just a white person in mind, it was not written with just a blank slate, then yeah, I have something to say, I have something to feel. But otherwise, fast forward to the end of my second year, aka my last year. Instead of having a showcase, I think that's what a lot of BFA programs do, IMT does a month-long one-to-one auditions with agents. And the year we did ours, your girl had like 4 to maybe 6, I want to say it's like closer to 5, maybe 4 to 5 offers from agents. The talent speaks for itself. Now I'm going in with Hourglass liquid blush. Oh my god, you see how on my skin it's giving what it needs to give. It's not ashing me out, it's actually highlighting my warmth. Okay, do I have what they call blush blindness? I hope not, but at the same time I don't mind, because when the color fits, when it's warm, it blends out perfectly actually. And again, close up, I'm just a girl. I ended up signing a contract with Takeway Talent, and this is now May 2022. I think I actually ended up doing it in June, but I knew I accepted the offer in May. And shout out to the Takeway Talent fam. Eddie Raven, if you ever see this, thank you so much for taking a chance on me. And to my girl Michelle, you already know we're like this. Me and her, Michelle, we're like this. The fact that I even did all of that in my second year, I did all these stage readings, I got an agent, I auditioned for dream huge shows and got my name known in Telsey for that moment. Like, bro, I was gassed. During after graduating, I thought I was gonna book work immediately, because the way that, again, my second year gassed me up, I was like, oh, perfect. But let's go back to takeaway number 2. Trust in the timing. I did not know what to do after I graduated, so I was like, they gave us an optional 3rd year, so I said, okay, sign me up. I continued training mainly in TV and film. I did a stage reading. This stage reading kind of like changed my life. Not necessarily like, oh, Broadway Tony Award winning, but in the sense of like, it changed me as an artist. I started doubting myself because I didn't book work. I hadn't booked work yet, and I was just so like down, and like I ended up becoming a supporting role. First time, had real lines like that I had to memorize for myself. Mind you, up until this point, most of my experience was just like me singing, and if I had a line, it would be like a little one-liner, but it was mainly me singing, adding to this ensemble. I love me a Hamilton Les Mis sing through moment, no dialogue. I love that. That team specifically reminded me of my worth. Shout out to Dr. Pripriat, and reminded me that I'm in the right place in the right timeline. That was fall of 2022. January 2023 was my first audition for the Book of Mormon national tour. Mind you, I did not want it at all, because you know the show. If y'all know the show, you know the show, because let's be so for real. I got an audition in person. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna make it because I'm in California. I'm not gonna fly out there, cut my little vacation short to come on a maybe. I said, nah, it's not that deep. Since I wanted to audition for that casting team specifically, I was like, may I send a tape? They said, yeah. Sent the tape, never heard anything. I was fine with it. Oh, this is the color pop. To be honest, it's a lip stain. I don't know what color this is. Didn't hear anything, so fine with it. Still auditioning. I'm finally back in New York again. Just navigating the space now, coming to about 8 months since I graduated. I get another audition notice for the Book of Mormon, and they're like, in-person audition. I said, dang, God brought it back. Let me go in person. At the time, I did not get much opportunity to go in person anyways, because timing, it's still the pandemic. Like, we're still, actually, at this point, we're coming out of the pandemic. This world is slowly going back to in-person, but us in the audition space, everything was online. line. Very few opportunities for me to go in person and audition. Let me just go and have it. Because the thing is, the real job is the audition. At IMT, I became a professional auditioner. I always walked in with a sense of confidence. Like, oh, no matter how this goes, it's gonna go. And when I did it, that's when I knew this was not my opportunity. It was my time to shine. So I got there, did the audition. It was super easy and I did not have any cares. Obviously, I showed up to work because you're auditioning, you're there to work. But it was more like I did not have so much emotional trauma, so much emotional attachment to it. It was more like, I'm here to show you what I do best. Didn't hear anything. I said, drink water and mind my business. Mind my business. I was so fine. May 2023, I get an offer. The way I prayed, like, God, if you want me to do this, I'll do it. If you don't want me to, it's okay. But if I get this offer, I'll accept it. I'll go do who you created me to be, because I really was not trying to be part of this show. I even told the Take 3 talent team, like, absolutely not. Don't bring this to me to audition for. I do not want to be in it. Humbled. Because when I got that offer on the 11th month, the 11th hour, come on now, this job has changed my life. I have gone to places I never even knew existed. Now, what would happen in Billings, Montana? What happens in Nebraska? Somebody comment and tell me. We went to where? Maine. Never even have eaten food. I've laughed so much. I've cried. I leveled up in the tax bracket. Don't play me. This is the e.l.f. Lip oil gloss, shining just how my EGOT is going to be. And the whole purpose, I even went ahead, I was like, God, if you want me to do this, if this is part of my journey of becoming an EGOT, then I'm gonna go. I will not allow this job to change me, only for the better. And I did it. I started the journey in 2020 of August. In 3 years, I became an actor, a professional, working, paid actor without a BFA. Will there always be insecurities about not having a BFA? Yes. In hindsight, I got this job during my junior year of college. If I had gone to a 4-year, we are competing with the people at Carnegie, the people from Penn State, the CCMs, Oklahoma. Like, people in my cast are from those bigger schools, really well-known BFA programs. And here I am too, from IMT, a small little conservatory in the Heights. Now I've been part of the Book of Mormon national tour for the last year and some change. This year will be year number 2. Go after your freaking dream. You don't know where it's gonna lead you. Even if you don't know where you're going, just go. If you need to stay at that 9 to 5 and do it from your 5 to 9, do it. I think the saying is it's worth the lofty suffering rather than the cheap happiness. Don't cheat yourself out of life just because you're kind of scared. Like, bro, I'm scared all the time. Auditioning is not easy, but I went and I booked a job. And there are ways, like, my degree comes up at times and there's different opportunities you can get with a degree, but I would not change a single thing in my process so far. And I'm happy my mom forced me not to drop out of school. I am very proud of myself. I'm very proud of God. Thank you. At the very beginning of anything that you do, it's very low stakes because you're just starting out. So you can fail and fail and fail. Barely anyone's gonna see. Like 10 people versus 10,000 versus 10 million. You wanna mess up at the 10, okay? Just keep messing up and perfecting your craft until you're up on a big stage, literally. And if you're 25, like the oldest in our class, I think was 25 or was 26. It's never too late. Now in my job, I'm part of the middle ground. Like, there are people a little younger than me, there's people older than me. And when I got in there, I was part of more of like the younger middle, age group. I said, wow, I thought it was too late, but it's not. It's never too late. You just have to apply yourself somehow, some way, and I hope me sharing this inspires you. If you guys have questions, DM me, email me, ask away. We can make more videos about this. I have so much to share, but if there's anything that caught your eye in this unique experience, let me know. I believe I'm not meant to walk this alone. I want to bring as many people with me as possible and surpass me, or if I can help connect you with somebody or an agent or my acting coach, my voice coach. Like, we all are connected somehow. The theater world is smaller than you think. You're not alone in this. Opportunities will come. Most of the time, they're waiting on you. So you just go and meet them there. Halfway, a third, but I promise, a lot of opportunities, just how Hamilton, just how that Netflix show, just how my agent, just how Book of Mormon, they all met me along the way and nothing went for vain. Not a single thing. You got this. See you next Wednesday. So much love for you guys. Bye bye.